Hello all. We all know about solar system, Milky Way, stars, moons, planets, etc., etc., etc. But what if someone says there are multiple moons, suns, planets, and moreover, so many other universes? Shocked? Yes, today me Pooja Sanrat
Me, Monali Patel.
Me, Kinjal Patel.
show you some details on this topic called space and parallel universe.
Around 13.7 billion years ago, simply speaking, everything we know of in the cosmos was in infinitesimal singularity. Then, according to the Big Bang theory, some unknown trigger caused it to expand and inflate in three-dimensional space. As the immense energy of this initial expansion, called light, began to shine through. Eventually, the small particle began to form into the larger piece of matter we know today, such as a galaxy, star, and planet. One big question with this theory is, are we the only universe out there? With our current technology, we are limited to observation within this universe because the universe is a curve and we are inside the fishbowl, unable to see the universe out of it. What if there is another world where you have a second chance and things turn out differently? Alternative reality where you do get into the Howards and Star Wars isn't made and you finally plug in your arithmetic computer code currently on the first try. But is there really a place in science for such a wasteful speculation? I mean, if the universe is everything that there is, you can't have two versions of it, right? Otherwise, the pair would really be everything, and what you started off calling the universe wasn't. Now the question isn't, are we alone in the universe? Is our universe is a unique? From science fiction to science fact, there is a concept that suggests that there could be the other universe beside our own, where all the choice you made it this life play out in alternative realities. The concept is known as a parallel universe, and this is a fact of the astronomical theory of the multiverse. According to a bit of the cosmos microwave background radiation, we might have a neighbor right there, which is known as a parallel universe. Hugh Everett's many worlds interpretation of a quantum mechanism arose from what must have been the most world changing drinking session of the time. One evening in 1954, in a student hall at a Princeton University, guard student Everett was drinking sherry with his friend when he came up with the idea that quantum effect caused the universe to constantly split. He developed the idea for his PhD thesis and the theory held up. According to his work, we are living in the multiverse of countless universes full of copies of each of us.
The term parallel universe is more general without implying a relationship or lack of relationship with our own universe. A universe where the very law of nature are different, for example, one in which there are no laws of motion, would in general count as a parallel universe but not an alternative reality and a concept between both fantasy world and earth. Friction has long borrowed an idea of another world from myth, legend, and religion. Heaven, hell, Olympus, and Valhalla are all alternative universes different from the familiar material realm. Plato reflected deeply on the parallel realities resulting in Platonism, in which upper reality is perfect while the lower earthly reality is an imperfect shadow of the heavenly. The lower reality is similar but with flaws. The concept is also found in ancient Hindu mythology in texts such as the Puranas, which expressed an infinite number of universes, each with its own gods. Similarly, in Persian literature, the adventures of Bulukiya, a tale in the 1001 Nights, describe learning of alternative worlds and universe that are similar to but still distinct from his own. A famous physicist, Stephen Hawking's last paper before his death also dealt with multi-universe. The paper was then published in May 2018, just a few months after Hawking's death. About the theory, he told Cambridge University in an interview that we are not down to single unique universe, but our findings imply a significant reduction to the multi-universe to a much smaller range of possible universe. Not everyone agrees with the parallel universe theory. However, a 2015 article on Medium by astrophysicist Ethan Segal agreed that space-time could go on forever in the theory, but said that there are some limitations with that idea. None of this has been proven yet.
But once you heard these stories, you'll be left scratching your head. So let's begin. The man from Todd, often considered to be the most well-documented instance of an interdimensional traveler. The man from Todd was one of the most recent appearances on this list. In 1954, Japan's Haneda Airport was checking passport of a passenger, just as they usually would. One passport was a bit different, and it belongs to a well-dressed businessman who spoke fluent French and Japanese. The alarming difference that made security officials put the man aside was the fact that he somehow seemed out of place. They began to questioning him, assuming that he was a trafficker. The man was confused by this. He said that he was from Todd and that it was a country situated between France and Spain. Custom didn't believe him, and he didn't believe Custom when they said the Todd didn't exist. Annoyed, he showed them his passport, which was from Todd, the man desperately trying to prove that he was correct. The passport had a number of official stamps from other countries, all of which appeared to be legitimate. The passport itself didn't seem fraudulent either. However, it was from a country that never existed. Customs officer took him to a local hotel to spend the night while they investigate the matter. The hotel room was guarded, so he wouldn't escape if he was a trafficker. He agreed and entered the room. That was the last that anyone ever saw the man from Todd or of his passport. Both he and all his personal effects disappeared that night, despite many of them being miles away in airport security's hand. Won't believe? Let me give you another example. Yusorobian has the title of being one of the oldest legends in Japan dealing with UFOs, as well as one of the oldest legends dealing with interdimensional beings. Yusorobian means hollow ship and refers to the appearance of a strange ship made out of metal and wood, with a crystal window that had arrived off a shores of Japan's Hitachi province. Inside the extremely futuristic ship was a woman with pale skin, bright red hair with white hair extension. When she had run into locals, the startled woman was terrified. She didn't speak a language that anyone recognized, and she kept clutching a strange box. When locals searched her ship, they only found 2 sheets, a small water supply, and some strange food that seemed to be a pastry made out of bread and meat. Unsure what else to do, the locals put the woman back on her strange ship and set her back out to sea. Normally, this would be debunked as a strange form of fiction, but the same woman had been seen landing off Japan's shores a number of times. Writing that appeared on the ship also was reproduced in the number of scrolls that describe her, and it's not a language that can be recognizable anywhere in the world. Because of her human appearance, many people believe that she was a person who was lost in wrong dimension.
So in the end, we can't 100% say it is not another universe. I, for one, welcome our universe neighbors who are also ourselves. The universe is expanding in all direction at once. We can tell by watch the CMB. But what's on the other side? What is outside the universe? Like it can be another you or another me.